Imagine the 5 or 6 people you spend the most time with grabbing an oar on this ship. Okay? And they're stroking the oar. Stroke, stroke, stroke. Trying to get to a certain destination. Right? How fast are you going to get to your destination, your ship, guiding your ship to your destination, if those 5 or 6 people that are on that ship with you, because you spend the most time with them, how fast are you going to get to your goals if they're all paddling in all different directions, right? As far as I know, I don't own a specific ship. I'm not like a sailor or anything, but if the people on the right are rowing one direction and the people on the left are rowing in the opposite direction, all you're going to do is spin in circles. Better yet, if they're all randomly rowing in all different directions, I think you just stay still, right? So as your relationships and your friendships in those dynamics, you want a group where everybody is rowing in the same direction. Yo, what is up, everybody? This is the End-to-Win podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Young Win, and as now you know me as the Ninja, you can call me Ninja too. This is the End-to-Win podcast, the Alpha to the Omega, the beginning to the end, talking about life, motivation, business, success, entrepreneurship, fulfillment, and offering you other morsels in this all-you-can-eat buffet called life. Back in the studio, and as you all know, just like I start my day off expressing gratitude to the universe and to God for the day, I want to express gratitude to you for following and supporting this podcast and the message that we're sharing. The comments, the follows, the likes, the shares, I appreciate it so much as we continually grow this audience organically without any sponsorship. As a reminder, I do this on my time, on my money, on my dime. And so the only way we grow the show is if you share it. So if you found value, if your knowledge swole, share the show. That's how we grow. So please do share this show, any other shows that you like, anything that you found value, humor, enlightenment, something that just made your day a little bit better. Please do share the show. I like to remind everybody it's about to start in March. And we started 2023 with several podcasts about getting shit done this year, right? Because every year, this is going to be the year. Last year was going to be the year. The year before that was going to be the year. So far, what have you done to make this the last time you say this is going to be the year? Because every year is going to be a great year. How far have you gotten? What have you done? Are you on that plan or pathway to success of what you would qualify for this year? Well, if you're not, perhaps it's because of who you surround yourself with. This particular episode, I'm going to take us back a little bit. I think it was episode 3, where I talked about you become who you spend the most time with, the 5 or 6 people you spend the most time with around you. Not your friends or family, it's who you spend your time with. You become an amalgamation, essentially a blob of those people. And as a reminder, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about why that happens. So, as we register the external environment to our brains, right? We do that through our senses. Hearing, sight, smell, taste, touch, right? Those are the only inputs we can get through observing our surroundings, and that includes people, the people we hang out with, right? So over time, your eyes are registering certain body movements or body habits or physical habits. Do your friends stand around like this a lot? Are you noticing that you stand around with your arms crossed a lot? Do your friends put their hands in a certain way when they talk? Are you noticing that you also do that? Right? Do they have a certain tick when they disapprove of something? And then are you picking up on that? Similarly, what you hear, right? That's why certain accents are developed. It's all English, but for example, it's all English, but in certain parts of the country, it sounds different, right? Southern slang, or twang, or northeastern accent, or Western accent, or East Coast accent. All different types of accents, but it's the same language. That's because we're inputting what we hear. Taste, right? How often is it like, yeah, me and my friends, we share the same taste? Was that because you actually share the same taste, or is that because, for example, you're eating the same things all the time? Or the same cologne or perfume or whatever? You're attracted to the same scents. Understand that a lot of this is actually not a conscious decision. All these inputs over time, vast amounts of time, are registering into your subconscious. And that includes the way those people think. The 5 or 6 people you spend the most time with, the way they think, their habits, their values are consciously and more likely subconsciously registering in your brain. So over time, that's why it's cliche, but it is fact, that you become an amalgamation, a combination of those 5 or 6 people you spend the most time with. Because you're talking, you're verbalizing your thoughts, opinions, what you value, positivity or negativity, or whatever the case may be, it's registering in your subconscious and slowly being incorporated into who you are becoming, your personality, right? You don't control your personality per se. It's just a subconscious thing in your brain that you act out subconsciously. You're not even thinking about it, right? And so you become that type of environment. So it is critically important that you surround yourself with the right type of people that hopefully can help you get to where you're going. And if they're not, then you need to move into a different circle. As I've mentioned in other prior podcasts, as you elevate your levels of success, you're going to start moving into different circles that share that level of success and perhaps are even higher, because the values and the struggle and all the things that it took to become successful, there's a heightened level of awareness amongst that group at each level. It gets harder and harder and harder as you go up to become elite. That's why it's called elite, right? So everybody around the base of the pyramid, that's everyday average stuff. And notice the people around you. Are they wasting time and hours, days long, Netflixing and chill? Are they wasting hours on video games? Are they wasting hours talking about gossip and the Kardashians and what's, whatever, Jenner's doing this or sports figures are doing that? Just wasting time, wasting brain power, wasting energy, wasting their vibration, right? That's the base pyramid. Are you spending your time around that? Because then you'll find that over time, that's all you're talking about and wasting your own damn time and not accomplishing your goals or doing anything right of value, I should say. But if that's where you want to stay, that's okay. Hang out in the front driveway, popping beers every day at 6 o'clock when you get home for hours and hours and hours on end. If that's what you're about, that's fine. But don't complain when you see other people more successful. Okay? So the question goes back to, have you progressed this year to make this the last year that this is, quote, the year? Perhaps you need to look at the people around you. And so let me give you 2 kind of analogies to keep this framework in mind. Okay? We're talking about people around you, the 5 or 6 people you spend the most time with. When you think of the 2 words itself, the first example is it's friendship and relationship, right? That's how you interact with people. Relationship and friendship, right? Relationship could be coworkers, business partners, clients, customers, and also people close to you, wife, family, friends. Friendship, of course, is obvious. It's friendship. Those are your tighter inner circle. But the important part about this is I want you to remember the word ship in the word. Friendship, relationship. And the imagery you have to bring in mind is that think of yourself as the captain of your ship, the ship of your life, right? Call it ocean liner, ninja, for example, my life. I am the captain of this ship. Okay, and I have a direction or destination. Like the waves may push me left and right. There may be different currents and thunderstorms along the way, hurricanes, whatever. But I have a destination, right? And I have a direction, a general direction I want to go, even a specific one. I want to accomplish these particular goals over this timeline, today, even this week, this month, this year, my lifetime, the next decade, the next 20 years. Certain visualized goals that I want to achieve. Now, as it relates to the people around you, imagine the 5 or 6 people you spend the most time with grabbing an oar on this ship. Okay? And they're stroking the oar. Stroke, stroke, stroke. Trying to get to a certain destination. Right? How fast are you going to get to your destination, your ship, guiding your ship to your destination, if those 5 or 6 people that are on that ship with you, because you spend the most time with them, how fast are you going to get to your goals if they're all paddling in all different directions? Right? As far as I know, I don't own a specific ship. I'm not like a sailor or anything, but if the people on the right are rowing one direction and the people on the left are rowing in the opposite direction, all you're going to do is spin in circles. Better yet, if they're all randomly rowing in all different directions, I think you just stay still. Right? So as your relationships and your friendships in those dynamics, you want a group where everybody is rowing in the same direction. Because you get there a lot faster. And nobody is creating drag. Nobody's creating drag. So let's say 3 out of your 5 or 6 people, they're with you. They're rowing. They're trying to help you. You're trying to help them get to the destination. And collectively, that destination are the shared common values that you have. But then you have 2 or 3 of your relationships or friendships that are just haphazardly, randomly rowing, sometimes rowing in the same direction, sometimes rowing in the opposite, sometimes their oar's not even in the water. Right? What does that create? That creates a drag. It drags you down. It's an anchor that slows you down from getting to where you want to go, even the other 3 or 4. Think about it this. There's a lot of school projects in high school and college where it's a group project. Right? And many times in my career, through high school, college, finishing in the top of the class, medical school, law school, business school, a lot of group projects. Several of those projects, all of us were same mindset, same values. Let's bust ass, get the best grade possible. Let's beat the other groups. Sometimes it was a group by group competition in the class. And then sometimes I had slackers in my personal group of 4, 5, 6 students. Had slackers, wouldn't contribute, late on their deadlines, didn't understand, didn't put in the time. And because it was a group project and because it meant much to me, I found myself having to pick up their slack. The ones that slacked off. I had to pick up their slack. Still made the great grade, right? Still made the great grade, and I had to do a lot of the work, right? They, fortunately or unfortunately, got the benefit of the great grade as well because it was a group grade. But let me tell you this, long term, because they were able to get a good grade without putting in work, long term, they didn't succeed in life because they didn't put in the work. I put in the work, so I knew what it actually took to make the grade. So I carried those values forward. And next time I joined other groups with similar values to make it easier on me, not have to pick up slack. Okay, so imagine now everybody's rowing in the same direction in your particular circle. How fast would you and them collectively reach your goals? How fast? I've seen it skyrocket. When you get the right team together, it goes from this to straight up growth. Money, value, assets, all that stuff. It can happen like lightning. So think about your ship. Name it whatever. Draw a picture. In fact, this is something I do. I get a visual of a yacht that I want to own one day and call it my ship. I put it on my phone. Back to, getting my supercar. Put it on my phone, see it where I want to see it, reminding me of what I need to do. That is your ship. And who are the passengers on your ship? Are they throwing anchors out, dragging the boat down, or are they rowing with all their might in the same direction? Okay, so that's one thing to think about in this circle. Okay, a second way to think about it is a poker analogy. And as you notice, I'm wearing a King of Spades t-shirt. If you notice, if you go back and look at my prior podcasts, often I try to get a shirt that is related to the theme of the podcast. But in this second example about that circle and how you become an amalgamation of the 5 or 6 people you spend the most time with, okay? Poker analogy. And for those of you who don't play poker, I'll use 5-card stud or Texas Hold'em as an example in terms of how you rate the hand. So in poker, there's a hierarchy of winning hands. Okay? It starts with high card. Let's say out of the 5, nobody has anything good. The high card wins. And that would be an ace. If you've got an ace and nobody else has an ace, you win the money. Then from there, it goes to 2 pair. So if you got 2 of a kind, of different suits, so you have the spades, the clubs, the hearts, the diamonds. If you have 2 pair, then that, so there's a hierarchy. 3 pair, 3 of a kind, a straight where they're all in order, a flush where they're all the same suit, different hierarchies, full house where it's 3 and 2, and so on and so forth. But that's to say that the highest winning hand is what's called a royal flush. Okay, a royal flush would be ace, king, queen, jack, 10 of all the same suit. And the spades would be the highest suit. So if you had 2 royal flushes, the spades would win. Okay, but my point is that it's the ace, the king, the queen, the jack, and the 10. Okay, all of the same suit. And that is the highest winning hand in poker. Okay, so bringing it back to your circle of relationships and friendships. Imagine you're the poker player of your life, which is a good analogy because in poker, you're dealt cards a certain way at the beginning. And so you have to play the hand that you're dealt, which is a common thing I like to tell people. Hey, those are the way the cards are dealt. You got to deal with them. You got to learn how to play them. Some people get dealt a really good hand out the start. And these would be people that, maybe they inherited, $1 billion. They got a head start. Or they're, a trust fund kid, got a head start, or whatever. Some people were born in the slums of India or Africa and had to start, out of the gutter. That's the hand they were dealt. Just like in poker, you got to deal with it. You got to learn how to play it to try to win. Then, of course, the next cards that come out are random. So again, poker is like life. There are certain random things that happen to determine how you got to play and the level of risk and what you want to bet on. Okay? But going back to my analogy, you want to surround yourself with the royal flush to win in your poker hand of life. And what do I mean by that? Think about the people you surround yourself with or who you want to relate with. And there's a hierarchy there in the poker hand example, for example, when you're thinking about, again, your relationships and your friendships. The ace would be somebody who is at a higher level than you, who maybe has achieved what you want to achieve or has a lifestyle you want to have a lifestyle with. Don't you think if you hung around that type of person more often, you would start to learn what it took to get to that level? And on top of that, you're seeing the things that they have and the things they do. And so in a way, you're manifesting and actualizing those habits in your life. So one person in your circle should be that person that is above you, where you want to go, that level, or the max level. You want to see if you can get there. Maybe it's a mentor. Find one and spend a lot of time with that person or people. Okay? The king of the hand, of the 5-card hand, the king, is someone on your level. It's kind of like your boy, your girl, whatever it is. The guy that or girl that you can always inevitably count on for anything. Right? You both have the same goals, the same drive, the same values, the same everything. It's like, I call it the 3 a.m. person. Right? The person where if you find yourself in a bunch of shit at 3 a.m., you pick up the phone, hey man, I'm in some shit. They don't ask you why, what happened, what? They just say, tell me where I gotta be. That's the king. You gotta have that person in your life. That 3 a.m., damn bro, like some shit went down and I need some help. It's not like, well, why would you do that? It's, yo, where do I need to be? What do you need? That kind of person. The queen, of course, the analogy would be your girlfriend or your wife or your spouse. The flip would be your boyfriend or your husband. Okay? They may be the same, the king and the queen, the reliable somebody that is right there with you. But oftentimes, in relationships and in that type of relationship, you're at kind of different levels. You're never exactly at the same level. Okay? So, but that queen, I'll give the male example, is that female that is right there with you. Doesn't judge, is forcing or pushing you to be a better version of yourself. Knowing what your goals are, pushing you, just kind of gently moving you along that path, picking you up when you're down. Okay? The jack is the guy or the gal that, you can just get ideas off of, bounce ideas off of. Somebody that kind of like a jack of all trades, think of it like that. The jack is somebody that has kind of that worldly knowledge or experience or perspective that you go, hey man, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? Philosophically. Or in actual, like, what do you think about this business idea? Maybe, I'm kind of stuck in this situation. It's that person you want to get advice from, so to speak, is a jack. And then the 10 is the person that just gets shit done. Right? Just gets shit done. Hey, man, I don't know how to do that. I'll help you out. Let me get it done. Right? Hey, man, can you do this for me? Yeah, get it done. Now, they could be combinations of these people in the same person, which is great because then you can add more people. But the idea is to fill yourself around with these people. Fill around yourself with these type of people. Different characters, different qualities, but shared values, shared ideas, shared goals, no drag, these kind of people. Because then if you can accomplish these type of relationships, and they don't have to be super personal. Again, it's who you spend your time with, not how deep is the relationship. Who you spend your time with. Likely it's a lot with your boy, your spouse, all these people in that, in the royal flush. Okay? But surround yourself with these people and you have the best poker hand you can possibly get to win in this game called life. Okay? Now, and why is it also important? Because inevitably on the pathway to success and in life in general, we all get knocked down, kicked down, dragged out. Life ain't a straight line up. It's up and down. Sometimes it's a deep down before you get to climb up. Trust me, I've been there. Been there emotionally, financially, all that. I've been there. And, I'll talk about more of that in a book I'm writing, but also in future episodes. But you get knocked down a lot. So it's critical. It's critical that you have, in the ship example, everybody rowing in the same direction. And you have that royal flush poker hand. Because what happens is if you have those quality, high-value people, they don't judge. They don't blame. All they do is they support you and pick you back up, help you get back up. Sometimes you get knocked down a lot, man. As long as you're not dead, you can always get back up no matter how long it takes. Right? And these people, the right people, will help you get back up faster and hopefully stronger than you were before you got knocked down. Give you encouragement. Sometimes it takes financial support. Sometimes it takes resources. Sometimes it takes connections to help you get back up. But it's these type of people that you can rely on to help you get back up. Because you see, misery loves company, right? That's a cliche and expression. But it's true. Because it's so easy to just surround yourself with, quote, unfortunate people. It's easier to be negative than it is to be positive. Oh, man, this sucks. Oh, yeah, that happened to me too, man. I feel sorry. Oh, man, okay, yeah. Let's go grab a drink and talk about it. No. Oh, man, this happened to me. Dude, okay, well, what do you think we need to do to get better? What do you think we need to do to get you back in the right spot? How can I help you? Right? If you don't have friends that when you're in a tight spot, whose not initial reaction is, how can I help you? You got the wrong friends, my friend. You want people around you. How can I help you? How can I support you? What can I do for you? Those are the kind of people that'll help you get to the next level without question. So if you find yourself now, what's today? February 26th, 2023, without people in your ship rowing in the same direction, with, a 2, a 4, a 6, a 7, and a 9, your 5 playing cards, all different suits, you got the wrong group of friends, my friend. You might consider changing out or leveling up your circle of the people you're spending the most time with. And it may be hard. It may be you got to cut off relationships. It may be you need to move on from friends, a relationship, a girlfriend, boyfriend, wife, whatever. I mean, I'm not advocating divorce, but if you're not getting where you need to go, it's making both y'all unhappy. I guarantee you. It may be family. There's family by blood, but when you don't share the same values, is it truly family? Good question to ask yourself. Only you can answer it. I can't answer it. I know what it is for me. Right? What is really the definition of family? Is it by blood alone? Ideally, it's blood and values. Sometimes it's neither nor, or either or. So what is a family? So if you find yourself February 26, 2023, without that kind of guys rowing the ship, the royal flush of poker, you got to find them. You got to find them, because once you do, you will find that that slope will start ticking up in your life. And if life is about fulfillment and impacting others and being the best version of yourself, that's what you need. And again, if that's not what you want, then stay where you are. Doesn't hurt me any. Doesn't hurt anyone else any. It's your life. You are the captain of your ship. Are the people in the ship rowing the same way? Right? So there we are. Just a throwback to episode, I want to say it was episode 3 or 4, where I talk about how you become the amalgamation of the 5 or 6 people you spend the most time with. Okay? So to help you with that concept, think about your ship and the royal flush in poker and analyze your life and understand who you want to keep in it and who you want to just kind of let go, because it makes a whole world of difference. Nobody succeeds on their own without question. And so therefore you need other people. And so are these other people the right people for your life? Glad to be back in the studio. This is actually a lot longer than I thought because I'm still in the middle of trial preparation. Consistency is key in 2023, baby. If you found this podcast valuable in any way, gain some knowledge, gain some thought, gain some action items for your life, changing up the people that you're surrounded with to help you go where you need to go, please do like, share, comment, especially share the show. If you're knowledge swole, share the show. That's how we grow. You can always follow me on all socials at N2N podcast. And if you have any questions, DM me directly. I look at all the messages at especially on Instagram at N2N podcast, or leave a comment on YouTube, or you can always email ask at the N2N podcast.com. I am the Prolific Ninja. Glad to be here. Look forward to bringing you another episode very, very soon. What's up,